Begin
Yeah, let's go ahead and
again.
begin before we get too sidetracked on the ginger dead man. Oh, dang it, Doc. All right, welcome everybody to the next set of episodes. Yeah, Doc.
Already starting
Already
tangents.
starting.
Yeah, it's fine.
You had
Troublemaker.
you had to derail me just before we started with the evil. Yeah, with ginger dead man. Dang it.
How did that derail you? You're a professional GM, are you not? You
The rest.
focus in.
Yeah, but you had to hit me with that. You had to remind me of that movie.
I will point you towards our about. We are totally not professionals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well.
Exactly. But anyways,
I
welcome
am.
everybody.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. So we're pretty much picking up where we left off last time. So, uh, last session, our party was just got to Cherryville and had encountered the coalition troops. Was trying to round up a whole bunch of the villagers who are mutants into the back of a wagon
exact-
tied
not
to
exact-
an APC, and of course, things did not go as well as they really could have, at least for the coalition. And the party pretty much wiped them out. All except for one lone dog boy who had a little bit of a change of heart.
Hmm.
And that's pretty much where we had a cutoff. So
Yeah,
here we come.
and
right
we
back
have
in.
our favorite lady here with the ever-changing pronunciation of the name, convincing Sam to stand down and not murder the dog boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is it Carrie Ann or Chrissy Ann today?
Carrie.
Are we sure?
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, it is.
All right. So with us we have Aisha, who is playing the ever-changing name, who is Carrie Ann today. So might as well go through our.
As I just finished logging off of 76 playing Kiersey. One more point to confuse myself.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and do our introductions, starting with Aisha.
I'm Theory Aisha. You know me as Aisha in on Twitch. You usually find me there in doing Gunpla models, Playmill models, some kind of artwork. I paint them as well as build them. You might also find me doing other crafts, chainmail, painting, embroidery, who knows what. So I just name myself the maker of all things crafty. But here I am playing Kiersey Ann. She is a medic of sorts. She is actually a cyberdoc. She deals with cybernetics and bionics, basically repairing the limbs and parts of the bodies that are injured or failing that are best replaced with um, mechanical improvements. And there's some mysteries about her that are slowly being figured out as we go along. And I'll hand it over to whoever is next in line.
Are we just going down the row?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm Doc. You can only find me here on this channel or modding other people's, but whatever, doesn't matter. I don't stream, not really. But I'm playing Sam Frost. He is a burster, which is basically the Human Torch, but he's a drugged out rocker with a horrible, horrible backstory that we won't get into. But I do not tolerate people harming women and children, and so I set them on fire until their body is ash and molten bone. That's about it.
All right. And I am Phasia or Atraxia. I also can be found elsewhere on Twitch as Phasia2. I am currently been playing some old school gaming, some Mega Man, some Super Metroid. Not sure what I'm gonna do next, but something along those lines. And today I am playing Frank, the scientist. Well, let's call him that. He just studies stuff and goes around learning and causing mischief occasionally.
Okay.
Nothing else will be caused or harmed by him, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. And now for Hyde.
I'm Hud the Glowing One. You can find me here on Twitch building Gundam plastic model kits, occasionally playing video games, as well as here playing tabletop. Today I'm playing Edward Myers, the resident berserker, and pretty much just a straightforward character. I swing my sword, I drive my car.
You do those things very well.
All right, and I am Einar. I'm here on Twitch as well. Do model building, scale models, occasionally playing video games, and here on the Chaos Table, I run Savage Rifts, and I also play in some other games such as Pathfinder, which is ran by Phasia, and Starfinder, ran by Aisha, and maybe some other ones that might pop up down the line, but we'll see what happens. And we still have Saint, who is missing. He lost the fight to Jack Frost. Still can't talk very well. And then we'll see about the coming soon. But now to the game.
Hooray!
Yay! So yeah, we're back to the scene. And yes, Tyrion has managed to calm Sam down, at least to the point of not murdering Lone Dog Boy.
The lone dog boy. Yeah. Still seething over in the corner with the flames on. I gotta cool down and let the flames come down.
Yeah, almost quite literally.
You know what? Speaking of, I think I'm gonna wander my ass over here and stand over the burning corpse that I burned. Just
Make sure it's
stare at
well
it.
torched.
Okay.
Whisper to myself quietly, like a madman in the flame.
Okay. And anybody else doing anything currently?
Just staying in the robot and doing a quick search for any signals nearby of coalitions, possible reinforcements coming. See if they got anything off before we manage to kill them.
Okay, that would be a electronics check, please.
All right, give me one moment.
Okay, so 13.
That's a success with 2 raises.
Mm-hmm. You did manage to pick up where they sent out a signal that they were under attack, and it was coming from the APC. But you're not picking up any return traffic at this time.
Oh, please, please do pull a Han Solo here. Like, go. Everything's fine now. Weapons malfunction. Everything's fine. How are you?
None of us would ever do something like that.
Nah, I would never pretend to be someone else and do that. But since I will keep the search open in case they do try to respond
Okay.
and try to hijack it.
And Carrie's going to go over to the villagers and see if any of them need any medical attention.
Okay. Give me a check.
Keeping an eye out, just seeing if any more might show up.
I'm just going to go ahead and clean off some of these.
Go hide the bodies some more.
Yeah.
You talking to your daughter again about hiding bodies?
I'm going to tell you that. That's our secret.
Oh, where's my medicine on this girl? Electronics, hacking, healing. Would probably be still shooting. Okay. Trying to think of the different games.
Okay. So that's a success with a raise. Yes, you have noticed that they are beaten up. The troops were not the nicest with them, and you are able to treat, their bruises and whatnot.
Okay. So I'd be
Nothing, yeah,
getting.
nothing serious with them. Just a whole bunch of bruises, abrasions.
Okay. So I'd be getting one of the medical kits out of the unit and just tending to their minor wounds and everything. Getting them water and if they need any rations or anything while I tend to that.
Okay. And while all that is going on, everything on the officer is definitely nothing but slag. You guys do have a chance of salvaging any gear from the rest of the troops if you so choose, or you can let the villagers do that.
Well, I would suggest Edward and the dog boy go through and gather what they can to see what's there. As far as weapons and stuff, we might want to leave those with the villagers. The weapons and ammo so they can defend themselves.
Okay.
From there,
The
um,
APC.
the healing, the medicine, any food, leave with them, and then from there, see what's left.
Okay.
That's just my suggestion.
Is that what we're doing now? Am I now going to be friends with the dog boy?
You don't have to be friends with him. I'm just saying that while I'm healing these people and he's over there with the corpse, Kentucky Fried Chicken in him.
Is that what I'm doing now? Dog sitting?
Sounds like
Sit, boo
it.
boo, sit. At least for right now. Or you can send him over to me. I'll dog sit. But then you got to deal with all the bodies.
No, he's my dog now.
Okay. See?
If anything happens to him, I swear to God, I'm gonna lose it.
You saying this in character?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys see this some serious side eye from the dog boy. Like, I can't speak, you know. I can hear you.
I know. What are you gonna do about it?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why are you antagonizing the guy we just saved from being burned alive by me? You know, that's not in character. That's just me as a player questioning. I could have killed him for you, Hyde, but Jesus Christ.
Wow.
No, this is an act of dominance. He wants to fucking bark. Let's bark.
Oh my God. Okay.
I literally just
Putting it-
killed like 7 of his friends. I'm not worried about this one.
Yeah, you see him kind of look around and sigh and just. You don't have to be a dick. Like, these other guys were dicks to me. You don't have to be the same way.
I really want to say some mean things, but I won't.
I was gonna say, you mean more mean things? So cruel.
You can look at my character.
And while that's all going on, Frank will come over and check out the APC.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely taken some damage from earlier when you had shot at it.
But it's probably something that can be fixed. I mean, that thing's got some armor to it.
Hmm. Yeah, it's still operational. It's just armor is pretty good, pretty damaged. But it still rolls. It's still got weapon systems to it. And Frank, you did get some. The calls did come from it. Asking for help.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hop inside after I get out of the robot and check out the systems and everything inside.
Oh, okay.
I doubt there's anybody actually inside. Otherwise, they probably would have communicated by now.
After Carrie gets done with the people, she would head over to the unit as well and just pop her head in the door and ask Frank if he needs an extra hand.
Going to need a hacking check first because The doors are locked. And Frank has no issues getting it open. And
Didn't think so.
one second.
Thank God for being a wild card.
Yeah.
He can probably do better than me.
Come on.
Oh, I'm just curious. This is not something I've had to roll on yet.
No, you did better than me.
Holy shit.
That's some good rolls. You had 2 explosions there on your wild die.
You do.
There's a problem with being a good hacker like we are. When you fail bad.
But when you succeed,
Like, generally speaking, the lowest I could technically roll is a 7, which would require it to actually be a critical failure.
Uh-oh, what's he plotting?
Itemized.
Yeah, because as soon as Frank opens up the door, you get shot at.
I get shot.
oh Jesus.
If it actually does anything now.
Wow.
So yeah, Kyrian, when you see Frank hack the door, it slides open, and what appears to be a heavy pulse come from inside and nail him right in the chest.
Well, my immediate reaction would be to pull out my weapon and shoot at the pulse from inside the whatever you called that unit. It shoots at us, I'm going to shoot back. So
Yeah, so apparently
there was somebody in there.
Mm-hmm. That's a hit with a raise. Right there.
So we got damage from Kyrian.
Yeah, I just need damage.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. It's been a while. Door damage off of
That's
public role. No.
did you use your weapon card?
No, she has to do a shooting skill test.
I did a shooting skill. That's probably what made it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Gear. That's why. Pull up the weapon so I can see it.
Okay, there it is. Finally showed up,
Okay.
and it was with a raise.
So damage. D6, AP.
On the pop-up, make sure you hit the.
Yeah, hit the braze. Add. Use modifier. Okay, that's the damage, but it's roll raise there.
And with it just being a moot. So pretty much what happened was Frank hacks the door, it slides open, he gets shot in the chest, stumbles back a little bit from the surprise, shakes him, stuns him. Carrie Ann was able to, react quickly, returns the shot, and, Coalition being, cheapskates they are and not really valuing the lives of their grunts. They pretty much have stormtrooper armor. And returns fire, hits them, and takes them out.
Alright, I'm gonna roll my spirit test.
Yeah, which pretty much removes the shaken. Get rid of it. See if I can. See if I can get rid of it. There we go. There you go.
Yeah, I wasn't shaking, it was just turned off. It was just still the quick access.
Yeah, I had to go into the effects and temporary effects and just delete it. Otherwise, it kind of gets buggy. Stormtrooper armor.
Well, Frank looks down and looks at his lab coat. Well, dang it, that's another outfit ruined.
Yeah, because there's now a big old scorch mark in it.
And continues going about his day.
Okay.
Carrie would look over to Frank to see if he was injured or anything.
He seems fine, other than his lab coat seems singed.
Okay, so you two are checking out the APC?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything specifically inside that you want to check out, or?
I was going to check the comm system, see if there was anything that I missed with from my census scans. See if they've received any messages recently, or what other messages that they've received, where they came from, stuff like that.
Give me electronics.
I fucked that up bad.
Not that you can tell.
As this is a critical failure, I can't reroll that, can I?
Uh, nope.
I didn't know that was a thing. You can't re-roll a critical failure? Shit.
I'm double checking.
I thought that was a thing.
It would make sense if it is.
I mean, bennies are powerful, so.
True, with the
Let me double
bennies.
check.
Because the last time we played it wasn't with bennies.
Bennies. Okay, yeah, reroll traits. Bennies can reroll any traits. Best roll get to keep best of the rolls. The only exception is a critical failure. So it cannot reroll critical failures. Bennies are powerful, but not that powerful.
Yep.
For quick reference, I am going to paste this to the Discord.
Ooh. And you could spend a Benny to regain 5 power points if you have an arcane background.
Put that under GM notes. Yep.
Okay. And while Frank was attempting to do whatever at the communications, Carrie would be jumping into one of the other computers and um, basically just going through their files and whatever the system would have connections to.
Okay.
Electronics.
Give me electronics first. Okay, yep, you're able to access and navigate.
Okay.
As that's a success, but not quite a raise. So is there anything specifically that you're looking for? Or just kind of shotgunning it?
She's trying to find out what the coalition is doing with the mutations. With these people. If she can access any information on that.
Okay, give me a moment. If that's something that's going to be here or not. Give me a hacking roll. Okay, you're able to find some information on because these guys are part of the research division.
Mm-hmm.
The risk control study group specifically. And it looks like that they were going to be transported down to the Lone Star facility. But beyond that, there's not any other information that's stored on the EPC.
It's enough to give her a a string to start unwinding. So she's happy.
Okay, so while Frank and Kiriana's are doing that, Edward, what are you doing?
What were we doing? I was doing something with the dog boy, going through the people we killed earlier for equipment.
Okay.
But I'll turn to him and I'm like, all right, let's get through this. What's your name?
Oh, they don't give us names, but my number is E5679.
No, fuck that. You might be a mechanically grown dog. You still gotta have a name.
Yeah, they don't bother with that crap with us.
You see Hyde like kind of, I'm not Hyde, Edward thinking, what about Mabari? Does that sound nice to you?
It's better than some stupid ass number.
All right, Mabari, let's get this shit going. And we'll start cataloging equipment, weapons, whatever they got.
Okay. Changing character sheet real quick. Okay, so pretty much each grunt. Checking. Okay, so we have a mix of grunts and heavy grunts. So they all have the same icon. For heavy. So there's like 4 C12 heavy laser rifles. You got a pair of C29 Hellfire heavy plasma cannons.
Is any of that usable by the villagers?
Definitely. No, that is not pop. Reveal that. Okay, so there's that. Reveal. There's. There's. And there's 8 of the light laser rifles and 8 pistols.
We'll definitely start distributing them rifles and pistols out to people. The
And then we
plasma
can also
cannons, though, I don't think anyone would be able to use them in that crowd.
Yeah, the
What about
plasma
Mario?
cannons, they're heavy weapons, so those ones might be a little bit more difficult.
Mabari should be able to handle a heavy weapon.
Yeah,
I
but
w- I
even if
would
someone can't handle a weapon, you could still hand someone a gun and say point it at an enemy if need be.
but what I'm thinking is if they can't handle the heavy weapons, we might be able to put the heavies on our vehicle and see if we've got some lighter weapons that we could unload. Because we've been been looting others as we've been going along. We might have something more appropriate for them that we obviously don't need. We were just gonna sell them, and the heavies are gonna give us more money anyways.
I agree.
Yeah, and while Edward and Mabari are doing this, the villagers come over and help out, and same with Esme.
Can I've turned my fire off at this point. I've calmed down.
Okay.
Can Sam start intermingling between some of the more adult prisoners and talking to them to see anything they overheard or that before this was happening to get that might help us protect them further, get their general mood too, like are they happy they're protected, are they more concerned about retaliation, etc., etc.?
Oh, they're very grateful about the help. Yeah. Yeah, the general mood is great appreciation. Um, because before, I mean, they were all being pretty much bullied and being rounded up. They couldn't do much about it. Because Esme, she has a pre-riffs, AK-47, which doesn't do much against modern body armor and the EPCs and stuff like that. So none of these villagers has any equipment that actually stands a chance at fighting back. So they're
But now they do.
Yeah, they're very grateful for the equipment, and yeah, they're very incredibly grateful and they're offering, hey, you're helping us out with, giving us these weapons. Thank you very much. We can offer, giving you food to go along the way, as and offering, you guys, feel free to stay here overnight as well. Um, they don't seem to be too fearful of any retaliation. And as far as
Well, that's
things that,
good.
as far as things that might lead up to it, this is coalition, quote unquote coalition territory. The coalition claims it, and they do come through here, but it's kind of infrequent.
So bury the bodies, hide the evidence, and move on.
That's one way of doing it.
Well, the other way of doing it is putting heads on pikes and making a statement, but I don't know if they want to do that.
I want to do that.
I mean, yeah, but you won't be here to defend this place when we're gone.
That's why we're going to teach them how to do it themselves.
Are we now?
Let's get down to business.
Oh, God.
Is this going to turn into the Show Tunes episode?
Maybe.
I mean, it's been said the world's a stage.
You guys started singing crap before this even started.
I'll take my cue from you, sir. Oh.
No, but I will give the villagers some tips on, like, aim here. You'll go right through their armor. Weak points. If the coalition ever comes back.
Maybe first teach them how to activate the weapon, reload it, turn off safety.
Yeah, I mean, we give them some firearms instructions, and
Pointy bit
And
goes
like
away
he's-
from you.
like he said, just aim, center, mass kind of thing.
Avalanche was a crutch. Oh my God.
All right.
Now I kind of wish I was playing the crazies, because next time I'd make a camp, I'd be doing the Tarzan, making all the sounds on everything in the camp.
Oh my God.
That's
Uh,
I'll post the video now.
This video will now be copyrighted as we proceed to sing for the rest of the episode.
yeah, exactly. It's a good thing the channel's not big enough for them to care.
Chaos Riffs becomes a show tunes version where we sing during the high points of the action.
I mean, I've always wanted to do it, but I am not skilled to off the cuff sing songs. And trying to get anyone to do it like a musical episode from a TV series will never work.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It'd be this, Chaos Riffs the musical.
Yeah, that would be
I
very
would
difficult to do.
100% be down for that.
A dancing demon, a la Buffy.
Mhm. That's what I was thinking, the musical episode of Buffy.
Oh,
I can see Sam being down for it.
God. On that note, I slowly start playing the riffs on the guitar for Do You Hear the People Sing while we train them. Do you hear me?
all right.
You're a spy.
Yes, these people will not be taken again.
Got a clue.
Yeah. And you hear one of the villagers like, "Hey, I recognize that."
Oh my God.
Like one of the pre-riff tapes that we have has that on it.
That's fucking hilarious. I'm sorry. That's awesome. Then let it be your new anthem for not being stepped upon by the authorities and learn this training. We're just gonna leave little militias in our wake. That's all we're gonna do. It's just move from town to town, training rebellions.
Yeah, why not?
Terrible.
Yeah.
See the means of production, comrade.
Oh God. That's it. I'm going to the one place we can't be reached. Space.
Oh, that's a whole different thing there.
Face my problems if I live on the internet.
Good luck with that one, depending on how you get there.
Hey, I'm one level away from flying, baby.
Ooh, you don't want to fly to space.
Why? I could stay perpetually warm.
That's true.
Oh, they can.
Now he just needs to figure out an oxygen issue, and
Yeah, there was all kinds of war crimes that happened in space for Rift Earth.
yay.
Mm.
Yeah, might be better off down here.
That's saying something in this universe.
Yeah. Let's say that there's other difficulties up in space, in the immediate vicinity of Earth, rather than just cold and lack of oxygen.
Yeah. I think I was trying.
Yeah.
I
So
think there was a book, because they did a couple of Rifts novels, which I kind of wish they'd continue on with those. I think one of them covered part of trying to get into space. But anyways,
Yep.
So how much do you think we can get for this unit?
for the EPC,
Mm-hmm.
We do
Somebody's
We're
have
gonna
slowly
want it.
just
connection.
accumulating vehicles. You know that?
Yeah. I kind of want to drop it now.
hmm.
We need
Well, I'm
more
trying to.
news.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think. We can unload a vehicle or two, or if we,
Actually,
because we just gained a dog boy, so that's another person in our vehicle.
On
I
a
just
scale of
wonder what
1 to
about the
Tesla, how easily is it to tear apart the siding of this machine and just tear it down?
Between me and Carrie Ann, pretty easy.
Yeah, it's more difficult than a Tesla, but you do have a couple of people here that kind of specialize in things like that.
Because I mean,
honestly
we
had a
could
good
just
thought.
strip it completely down.
I'm sure I could find parts for uses for the electronics and parts and stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's better than just constantly adding vehicles, because then it's getting harder and harder and dividing our forces.
Yeah.
Who else does sell it?
I had a good
As
Yeah,
idea.
but then
is,
we still have to drive it away.
do we?
Between Edward and I were both capable pilots.
What if we taught the villagers how to drive it so they have something a little bit more powerful to fuck with the coalition?
I mean, I'm down with that. I'm all for putting the power in the people.
I mean, it's a literal fucking tank. It's got
Mhm.
heavy
Yeah.
armor.
Yeah.
It might not be a whole
But
lot, but it can do something.
We've come
But they
to
would have
quote unquote collect taxes. It's like, you and what army? As they like are
The
sitting
U.S.
in their
Army.
tank.
well, they'd have
Well, that's
to
a good
be
army.
able to maintain the whatever energy it runs off of and ammunition.
Well, it's nuclear powered, so it's good for a few decades.
Ammunition they
Ooh,
could
if
probably
it's nuclear
just
powered,
scrounge
we could
around
probably
from
get millions of
patrols.
credits for it.
And its main weapons are dual-linked anti-personnel lasers and mini-missile launchers. I mean, its primary purpose is a personnel carrier.
Sounds like a way to quickly evacuate the town and shoot at people who are chasing them.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Like a last resort, we need to get the F out. Trump card kind of thing.
Mm.
But
But
yeah,
Now that
you
the
know,
coalition are dead, what are Aaron and her bodyguard doing?
but yeah, I'll show one of the villagers how to operate it. Can't be too hard.
Or would they be better off with the Mountaineer, which is much smaller, more versatile for them?
I think they might need the heavy armor of the APC.
And I think the main question is, how long are you willing to spend here teaching one of them how to actually drive this unit? Because for it to actually be effective, it's going to take some time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we got places to be.
Mm-hmm.
One of them villagers can pick it up quick. It's nuclear powered, so they can just drive it around as much as they want.
You just assuming there's going to be a savant in the town.
You never know. Driving's not that hard.
Well,
It's crashing that takes skill.
No, it's surviving the crash that takes skill.
there you go.
Luckily, it's an armored tomb, so they can survive pretty well inside of it.
Yeah, see?
I'm gonna
They
say
can
it's not the
crash
fall
anything
from the
else.
height that kills you; it's the sudden stop.
Yeah.
Also, is a big tank going to draw attention?
When
Well,
a
you gotta
coalition comes
camouflage it.
through, next time, yeah.
Yeah, it's called the "Don't fuck with me" attention.
And now the coalition is more likely be like, why do you have this missing tank? All right,
Hmm.
we're taking that, and we are investigating this town closer.
And we scratched the serial plate off. Paint it like the colors of the local rock sign. We're in the middle of the Midwest.
Yeah, ain't no one gonna think about that little tiny shed that just so happens to have a tank in it.
Yeah. Especially if the tank is painted like a giant rock.
Yeah, never mind that big tank-shaped rock.
Yeah. It's a natural
It's a rock.
formation. We call it "Don't fuck with us."
It's a boulder.
Yeah, exactly.
It's our monument to fuck around and find out.
Do you want me to make a driving skill or something like that to see if I can even get one of the villagers to understand?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna assume no.
I mean, it's technically a success, but let me do a roll on my side. You're able to impart the basics to somebody.
How much is that a link to the coalition for us too, in terms of
Well, between me and you, we should be able to scrub this thing of any coalition electronic markings and symbols. It'll just be a matter of repainting it at that point. Maybe making a few modifications to the physical structure so it doesn't look as unique as well.
I mean, yeah, those are all the things I would think about trying to do to it.
It's gonna take some time though,
Mhm.
probably at
For
least a
sure.
couple days.
And we can leave that up to them. They now have the tools to fight back. It is up to them to decide if they want to really use them or not.
true. How do the villagers feel about having a big old tank sitting around and
They don't seem to
possibly?
mind. Just like with the weapons.
This town is suspiciously okay with murdering people, but I feel like that's almost common in in Ripsworth.
And so far, with the time that you spent with, showing the ropes of the weapons, and with Edward showing him one of the more, I guess, savant villagers how to operate the EPC, it's getting close towards the evening time, and Aaron and Sir Thorpe has returned. Set up real quick. Either Oh boy.
So, what's the plan after this?
Well, we need to be continuing heading towards mm, our one town, Cherryvale or whatever.
Oh,
This is Cherryvale.
yeah, this is
Okay, this is
Cherryvale.
Cherryvale.
Yeah, we were headed somewhere else. I can't remember the name. This
You-
was just the first pit stop along the way.
Okay, so we need to be heading on that way.
Yep. Like I said, it's getting towards evening time. Off the encounter map to the village map. But yeah, Aaron and like I said, Sir Thorpe has returned from doing their scouting. Said that they haven't run across any other scouts in the area. And yeah, the villagers have been very thankful and he said that they'll be preparing, a thank you feast here shortly if you want to partake. The rest is pretty much in your guys' hands.
Okay.
So what does the party want to do?
Frank will be right back.
I mean, I spend time making sure the villagers are happy and taken care of and healthy. So if the answer is have dinner with them and then head the hell out, that's fine. More than happy to do that. But
I think we should um
wait, is Witch Lady, is there 2 tokens for her? Am I losing my mind?
Shouldn't be unless there's a duplicate. Because you got Esme up
who's
here.
this one?
That's Esme.
Esme, okay. I would say let's go ahead and agree to the dinner because it's their means of thanking us for what we've been able to do for them. I wouldn't turn that down. That might look bad on us. And then yeah, we should head out and be on our way.
Yep. Yep. I'm down.
Okay.
I assume the rest of us are.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Yeah, Frank will go ahead and stay. And he'll spend some of the time actually working on the tank since they're leaving it there with just so it's in a little bit better condition for them. And I'm about to send you a DM, Einor.
Okay.
I'm not much for parties.
No, but it's free food. Better than the rations we have aboard the Mountaineer. And at least some of the party has to eat.
Okay, so Esme kind of leads those that are interested in food over towards this way, towards the corner, which looks like a saloon type building.
Are we supposed to follow?
And it said those that are interested in the food.
It's all wooden. Worst case, shit goes down. I could burn the whole place down. It's good. Yo. Let's eat the nummy nums.
Okay. And of course, I don't have the tokens for the villagers, but there's villagers spread throughout.
Sure.
And she invites
Let's play
everybody.
some honky tonk.
Yeah, she invites everybody to go ahead and have a seat, make yourself comfortable. We'll be serving the food here shortly.
I play Paint It Black on the piano.
Okay.
Where did you get the piano from?
What?
Where did you get the piano from?
There's literally a piano right there.
Yeah, right there.
I walked right up to it.
I don't
Look,
see
you
one.
put it in the scene. I'm gonna use it.
Yeah, it's there.
I'm a musician, damn it.
And I
Well, I have
assume
to
you
ask
want
you, are the
a
pianos
repair
from
electronics check.
Yes.
I succeed.
Come on, you can do better on electronics this time.
At least those listening to the stream will hear the piano version of Paint It Black.
So you're telling me to unmute the stream. Got it.
Yeah, because you said we got a hard cut off about 4:15ish.
4:30, 4:45.
Okay. So we got another 3 hours left of playtime.
Yeah, roughly.
I got you for 3 hours.
Okay, so yeah, Frank is able to do what he's doing.
I can't do too many repairs on the vehicle. Don't have supplies, but I can do what I can.
Okay.
God damn.
Okay, so Frank's working on the EPC. We got Sam and Carrie Ann inside.
That leaves Edward Dog Boy.
Yeah.
And I assume you
And
did read my DM.
Yeah.
and the other NPCs.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would think the scouts would be coming in because they've been out there pretty hard.
Yeah, they come in and join.
I'm just gonna work on the APC. You guys enjoy dinner.
That's right. Enjoy some dinner.
Yeah, and my bar's like drugs. I'm like, oh, free food, so why not?
I only meant to imprison your people and, kill you.
Hey, we're gonna
I
teach
was
the
just
dog a
following
trick.
orders.
So what does Edward plan on doing?
Oh, I'm just gonna stay outside and enjoy the night sky.
Okay.
Do the whole brooding edgelord thing.
Okay. Okay, so after everybody's got some time to settle in doing what they're doing. Okay, those that are inside, waiting for the food.
Now we are betrayed.
Wait, I haven't done anything yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. No. I just DoorDash.
Frank's evil plan is not, hatched yet.
Okay.
Soon.
I was just waiting for the town to turn on us. They were so eager to here's your weapons and guns. It's like, here, have some free food. Oh God, it's poison. Now we harvest their organs.
Yeah, just their third kidneys.
I try this world is just so harsh. It's hard to trust anyone.
It is. Oh, you mean in the game?
All right, so they start carrying out plates and everything else from the back, from the kitchens.
Sure.
And they reveal it. And the food is mainly large grubs and snakes and various other insects.
Yo, I'm gonna chow down on that snake. Yo, if you've never had snake in your life, I will tell you it is fucking delicious. You fry that shit up.
Yeah, and pretty much other things that they catch in the area and cook up. And yeah, rattlesnake is pretty good.
I thought you were going somewhere. I was gonna move my car.
Nope, not going anywhere yet. Because I don't think your car is blocking us in.
Mm-mm. A little too far away.
Yeah, just a touch.
Oh, I closed.
But I mean, Carrie's familiar with eating pretty much what you find. Pretty much a rugged dinner, I guess you would call it. So she'd be trying a little bit of everything that's on the plate.
Alright, sorry about that, guys. My roommate slash cousin was talking to me.
No worries.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, but other than that, yeah, the food's not poisoned or anything of that nature.
Just unusual.
Just very unusual.
I mean, it's definitely a protein diet.
Yeah, it's just very earthy.
You know, it's not like you saw any cows around the village.
But throughout dinner, you hear this, the small talk from, the villagers and whatnot. So you find out that, they're very close knit. And you find out that they're also very willing to, make sacrifices for each other, helping each other out. And any concerns that's been brought up so far, about the town's, the safety and everything, that it's been pretty much shrugged off. But the only thing that's come of that is, Esme's pretty much put in a request that, when you guys reach Fort Comanche, just can you just put in a request to, just send out some extra patrols this way if they can.
I mean, obviously willing to do what we can to help, but sadly, this world is not guaranteed to help anyone, apparently.
Hmm. Yeah, that's the sad thing about this world. But, we try what we can. The great thing about Cherryvale is, we help each other out as best we can. But we set up all the trade. Anything that we grow for produce, we trade with Fort Comanche, and in return, they send patrols and they help out as best they're able to.
How well are they set for vegetables and stuff like that?
They seem to do fairly decent.
Okay. It's just the proteins that they're having an unusual diet of.
Yeah.
That might be something that Esme can arrange as well, is to have a few other um, animals come that they could raise the animal for both the breeding and also um, for the meat as well. Give them a little bit more options in their diet.
We're pretty happy with what we got. We like these. We don't
Okay.
we don't need anything else. Which she responds while, just very happily, you know, pound down on. You see her mainly eat the grubs and other insects. Okay. Anything else that anybody else would like to do during this scene?
No, I'm more than happy
Mm-mm.
to just enjoy the food and make some music, give them a moment to be happy
Okay.
that they are alive.
I'm just patrolling the town, doing my thing.
Okay.
Just doing my thing.
Okay. And if nothing else is really going on, then
I would think when Carrie's done, she would just thank the ones that serve the meal, and she'd excuse herself.
Yeah, funny enough, how we now have a guard dog, and I'm still on point.
Is that the door? There's the door.
The door's right there in front of you now.
Okay.
All right. So if there's nothing else going to go on, we'll just don't plan on staying anymore in Cherryville.
She'd be going over to the Mountaineer, and one, she's going to check on the egg. And checking the status on some of the batteries.
Okay. 1 second.
Wow. Ordered a milkshake from Steak and Shake. I didn't get a spoon, a straw, and nothing.
That's stingy. Okay. No changes in the egg. And yeah, the crystals seem to be doing fairly decent as well.
So no particular changes with the egg.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I could keep it warm if you like.
Seeing the size difference between the tokens between the EPC and the Mountaineer, there is definitely not the scale.
No.
Mm-mm.
Which one's supposed to be larger?
Probably the APC.
I mean, considering what all is supposed to fit in the Mountaineer, that should be a lot larger than 15 foot.
Mm. I'll scale the damn thing up, my man.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting them. Getting the books pulled up for that. Wow.
I mean,
This is
I'm
so
not worried
early.
about it in the long run. It doesn't really.
No, but it's bugging me now.
Yeah, because that's looking like a 2-seater vehicle.
Yeah.
I thought it was a motorcycle.
They have those in game too. He used to carry a
Dune
couple of those
buggy.
in the back of the Mountaineer,
Not in
or
Mountain.
not in the Mountaineer, the
The Behemoth.
Behemoth. For quick patrols.
One version of Frank and enjoyed souping those up.
Mm. So, do we carry onward, sir?
Waiting for what the party to reach consensus. Words.
Consensus.
Yeah, that word.
I assume we are.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought we were. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're ready.
All right. Everybody's ready.
If we got to pick up the dog boy.
Tally ho!
All right. And back to.
Somebody want to whistle for him?
Yep. Everybody pretty much loads up.
Is it starting to get a little tight in there?
Oh,
You
the
Just open a window, let him hang his head out.
Or do we still have room?
Or does Frank have to take a passenger?
Oh, the Mountaineer holds 5, and Frank's in the Forager.
Mm-hmm.
So that leaves. We got Edward, Carrie Ann, we got Saint and Sam. There's 4. So you still got one more seat. Without
All
getting
right.
into the Forager. So yeah, there's still room.
What about the lady friend? Are we still taking her, or did she stop at Cherryville? Esme.
She lives in Cherryville.
Okay.
Yeah, that was her town.
Well, okay then.
And the other 2 are traveling along with us to Fort Comanche as well.
Yep. They have their own.
Via their own.
Yep. They have their cyber horses.
That's right, the stupid robot horses.
Yep.
Just get a motorcycle, man. Like, why you got to be extra?
Because they look cool.
It's the cool factor. Come on.
I'll stick with the
Yeah.
motorcycle.
At that point,
Thank
make
you.
them Pegasi. Give them wings. Do some flying or shit. I don't know.
Because once Cyber Knight, and knights ride horses.
Sure.
What they do, I don't know.
So what now? We drive?
Yep.
We drive.
Yep. Now it's traveling time.
Yep. Onward. Got some ground to cover.
Yep. Quite a bit of ground.
Mm-hmm.
Another
550 miles.
Yeah, about another 550-ish miles. And another 130-ish to the border of, Comanche Preserve. What freaking book
And
is
in
this?
honor of Sam, Frank will start playing a song over the radio as they start leaving. Here I
Aw.
go again on my own.
Except we're not alone. Unless you're
I
all
am.
versions of my brain.
I'm alone in the robot. It says you guys are crowded.
Oh, you're not playing it on the outside speakers? You're just...
I am.
Oh, okay. God.
This is at the end of all this. Sam's gonna wake up. It's gonna be one big
Crazy trip.
Yep.
I mean, that would be a fucked up way to end this adventure.
Gonna be a season.
None of your characters existed except one of them. They were all the hallucinations of a of a coked out like rock star. Congratulations.
Yep, it's gonna end like a season of Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gee.
Your entire season didn't exist.
Showing your age there, bud. Then again, I guess I am too.
Yeah.
The fact that I know what Dallas is.
Yeah, the fact that you got it.
Yeah.
I mean, mine is just reruns, but still.
Dallas, that's a place in Texas, right?
Oh God.
Now you're just trying to pretend. Nice try.
I've never actually watched the show, but I have heard of it.
Not the whole big old who shot
The
JR
whole
thing.
world. About to say the whole world. Who shot JR line?
Yeah, that was a whole big thing. Yeesh, people wouldn't shut up about it. Head up later. Otherwise, I'm going to get sidetracked and looking up the size of the freaking Mountaineer.
Anywho,
Yeah. Anyway.
what do we do to pass the time? 'Cause how far do we get before another event takes over?
Well, we get to.
Who gets to tell a story this time?
Yep. Someone roll a d4.
Well, I know my character would be, if not driving, would be spending time with the egg.
Slash roll. Slash roll.
Slash roll.
Good.
Okay, so 3. So Frank.
Didn't Frank do it last time too?
He did.
Or was that
Yeah.
high?
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Frank.
There's Frank. Desire.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I did it before.
So just force it between me or Hyde.
As they could take the 4 result also, just would be hide.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could tell the story if you really want. I have a story I stole from somewhere else to read anyway.
Well, we don't know what it's about yet.
Storyteller.
So
1 second. Okay, so I got spades. So that is victory. So yeah, let's go with Doc. We'll be nice to Hydra this time.
for victory,
Yep, victory.
interesting. What story? I've taken a bunch of different stories that I could borrow from. But I got one. Although I will say that this story is a meaningless one. And you must not search for a moral within it. It's not that kind of story. It is called The Story of the Dog and the Dragon. Okay? So, one day, a dog saw a dragon flying overhead. The dog marveled, as one might expect, for he had never seen anything so majestic and grand. The dragon soared in the sky, shimmering, iridescent scales in the sun, and when it passed above the dog, it called out a mighty challenge, demanding that it should acknowledge its beauty. Now, this dog wasn't particularly large, even for a dog. He was white, brown spots, floppy ears, not a specific breed or lineage, and small enough that other dogs would often mock him. A common variety of a common species of animal that most people would rightfully ignore. But when the dog stared at the dragon and heard his mighty boast, he came to a realization. He had encountered something he'd always wished for but never known. Today he had seen perfection and been presented with a goal. From today, nothing else mattered. That dog would become a dragon. So the dog stayed up all night and day thinking, how do I become a dragon? He returned to the farm where he lived with others of his kind. All the dogs had jobs on this farm, chasing livestock, guarding the perimeter. But as the smallest, he was rarely ever given any real duty. To others, this would be liberating. To him, it had always been humiliating, but now it gave him time. As any problem, he divided his goal into steps. First, he would find a way to have colorful scales like the dragon. Second, he would learn to speak like men, like the dragon did. Third, he would learn to fly. He chose to figure out how to make scales first because they seemed the easiest. He wanted to transform his body and get an early victory. He knew the farmer owned many seeds and varieties of colors, and they were shapes, sort of like little scales. But because he was not a thief, the dog did not take these. But he asked the other animals where the farmer obtained new ones. Turns out the farmer could make seeds by planting them in the ground, waiting for plants to grow, and then taking more seeds from the stalks. Knowing this, the dog borrowed some seeds, did the same, accompanying the farmer's eldest son on his daily work. As he worked, the dog moved alongside him, digging holes for seeds with his paws and planting them carefully with his mouth. It was amusing to watch this dog do this kind of work. And the eldest son found it incredible that each day the dog went out, gripping a watering can in his teeth. The little dog watered each seed just as the farmer did, and he learned to weed and fertilize. Eventually, the dog was rewarded with his own small crop of seeds. Victory. After replacing what he'd borrowed from the farmer, the dog got himself wet and rolled in the seeds, sticking them all over his body, and then presented himself to the other dogs. "Ha! Do you admire my new beautiful scales? Do I not look like a dragon?" In turn, they laughed at him and said, "Those aren't scales. You look stupid and silly. Go back to being a dog." The dog slunk away, feeling foolish and hurt. He failed at his first task, to have scales like a dragon. It was not a victory at all. The dog, however, was not daunted. Surely, if he could learn to speak in the grand voice of a dragon using the human tongue, they would all see. And so the dog went about his free time watching the children of the farmer. There were three: the eldest son, who had helped in the fields, the middle daughter, who helped with the animals, and the toddler, who was too young to help, but was just learning to speak. They were all working in the yard, and the farmer's wife, who was taller than the farmer, a lady, lanky, a daughter who would someday share her mother's height, and a baby toddler around the yard, tended them all as they did their chores. The dog figured the best way to learn was to study the youngest child that played with her mother. So the dog played with the baby, stayed with them, listened, and began to form words. The dog played with her and he could start to understand her. But he couldn't form the words. No matter how hard he tried, as they did, his mouth could not make that kind of speech. His tongue did not work like a human tongue. Eventually, while watching the tall and serious daughter, he noticed he could make the words of humans on paper. The dog was overjoyed by this. It was a way to speak without having a human tongue. The dog joined her at the table where she studied, inspecting the letters, learning them. He failed many times, but eventually learned to scratch the letters in dirt himself. The farmer and his family thought this an amazing trick. The dog was sure he had found a way to prove himself he was becoming a dragon. He returned to the other dogs and showed them his ability by writing his name in the dirt. However, they could not read the words. When the dog explained what writing was, they were like, "This is not the loud and majestic voice of a dragon. You are foolish. Stop being silly and go back to being a dog." They left him to stare at his name fading in the soil as rain pelted the ground and washed his words away. He realized they were correct. This was not a victory at all. He had failed to speak with the proud and powerful voice of a dragon. But there was still hope. If the dog could just fly. If he could achieve this feat, the other dogs would surely have to acknowledge his transformation. This task seemed the hardest of the previous ones. However, the dog had seen a curious device in the barn. The farmer would tie bales of hay with a rope and raise and lower them using a pulley in the rafters. This was essentially flying, right? The bales of hay soared into the air, and so the dog practiced pulling the rope himself and taught himself the mechanics of the device. He found that the pulley could be balanced with weight on the other side, which made the bales of hay lower safely to the ground. The dog took his leash and tied it around himself to make a harness, like the ones wrapped up in the hay, and he tied a sack slightly lighter than he was to the rope, creating a weight to balance him. After using his mouth to tie the rope to the harness, he climbed to the top of the barn's loft, called the other dogs to come in, and when they arrived, he leaped gracefully off the loft. And it worked! Victory! The dog lowered slowly, striking a magnificent pose in the air. He was flying. He soared like the dragon had. He felt the air around him and knew the sensation of being up high, with everything below him. When he finally landed, he felt proud and free. Then the dogs began laughing. That is not flying like a dragon. You just fell slowly. You are stupid and silly. Go back to being a dog. This, at long last, crushed the dog's hope of obtaining true victory. He realized the truth. A dog like him simply could not become a dragon. He was too small, too quiet, and too silly. But what's this? Sudden shouting, yells of panic. What was that? The dog raced out of the barn to find the farmer and his family huddled around the small farmyard well, which was barely wide enough for a bucket. The dog put his paws up on the edge and looked down. Far below, in the deep darkness of the hole, he heard crying and splashing. A pitiful gurgling cry was audible. The littlest child of the farmer and his wife had fallen into the well and was drowning. The family screamed and wept, but there was nothing to be done. Or was there? In a flash, the dog knew what to do. He bit the bucket of the well's rope. Then he had the eldest son tie the rope to his harness, and wrote in the dirt, "Lower me," then hopped onto the rim of the well. Finally, he threw himself into the well as the farmer grabbed the crank. Lowered down on the rope, the dog flew into the darkness. He found the baby all the way under water, but shoved his snout in and took hold of the baby's clothing with his teeth. A short time later, when the family pulled him back up, the dog appeared holding the littlest child, wet, crying, but very much alive. That night, the family set a place for the little dog at their table and gave him a sweater to keep him warm, his name written across the front with letters he could read. They served a feast for the dog, which helped him grow. They gave him cake, celebrating the birthday of the child of the life he had saved. That night, it had rained on the other dogs, who had to sleep outside. But the little dog snuggled into the warm bed beside the fire, hugged the farmer's children, his belly full, and he did. And as he did, the dog thought to himself, I could never attain victory. I could not become a dragon. I am an utter and complete failure. So there's your story of victory, my friends, or the lack thereof.
Brutal.
As I said, there is no moral to the story. He did not succeed at what he tried to do.
Nope. Old dog. Oh. Yeah, it's a bit of a roller coaster of a story.
Yeah.
You asked a story about victory. I gave you one.
Yeah.
Though I must say that perhaps maybe we do have morals in this story. Morals of the undue pressure that we put upon ourselves. And perhaps we can achieve victory in things we never expected. Let me tell you the real ending. That night, when the little dog snuggled back into bed, hugged by the farmer's children, his belly full, as he did, he thought to himself, I obtained a victory of my own in an own way. I doubt any dragon ever had it so good.
Nope, you ruined it. I like the sad ending.
Terrible.
We're gonna go back to our conversation before the game.
And I say, well, the true sad ending would have been that the child and dog drowned.
That would have been a Griff's ending.
Oh my god. I guess I could have told it that way. That would have been messed up. Jesus.
That would have been matching the conversation that we started with before the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Holy shit.
All right.
I don't see how that aligns with Gingerbread Man, but okay.
No, the dark story.
The dark stories.
Yeah.
But I hope you enjoyed your story of victory.
Nicely told.
Made me cry.
I honestly, when I found out you were having the characters tell stories in time, I started pulling up as many stories with different morals and shit that I could find.
You've been
Because
prepping.
I figure a storyteller / bard / whatever should have some good stories to tell.
Oh yeah. Nice.
That's crazy talk. You're crazy.
I mean, I am crazy for doing it.
All right. So you guys have been traveling across the plains, heading towards Fort Comanche. So far, it's been fairly uneventful as the days go by. And then, one night you got camp going on. And it's a fairly nice night out. And you guys have any sort of watches or anything set up?
Yeah, I guess me and Mabari and whoever else can rotate.
And Frank sleeps and the robot keeping an eye on the sensors.
Okay.
No, Carrie would be also sharing shifts.
Okay. Who would be awake around midnight?
You want someone to roll a d4 because
Well, we have a little bit more than 4 because we got Mabari in there. So we got
And Frank
5,
would be
don't we?
awake for sure.
you, Mabari, and Frank. Who was it?
End up being a 1.
And I'm being a 1. So I guess that's me.
Yeah, you and Frank?
I was about to say, does Frank really sleep?
No, he doesn't.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
You
instead
mean
he's sniffing in the robot to try to keep up his cover.
Yeah, because it's a nice clear night. You got the gleaming stars overhead. A nice cloudless sky, and there's a faint transmission over the radio, and it comes over all the radios.
that's unusual?
Very.
Okay, so I would perk up and listen to the transmission.
Okay. At first, it's very distorted, like it's like there's some sort of atmospheric distortion cutting through it, or something of that sort.
I'm gonna try to pin in on the signal.
Okay, and electronics.
Yeah, I'd be using the equipment on board to see if I can clear the transmission. So I can do electronics as well.
Well, I guess what happens are both for electricians and people are actually awake at the time.
Well, I guess whatever you get, I get.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you're both very successful at clearing out the interference. And as soon as you're able to do so, um, it is extremely loud, screaming in pain. It's a female voice. It's very unintelligible, but it's continuous. It's almost like this person is being tortured. But it's loud enough that pretty much everybody's awake now. Everybody gets woken up by the screaming.
Is there any way to try to trace the signal where it's coming from, or at least what direction?
You can give me an electronics check.
Is there any other else too awake?
And you said it's nothing but screaming.
Yeah. Yeah, just screaming in pain. And what was that, Hyde?
Oh, I was making a joke.
Oh.
I said, is there any other way to wake up?
Okay, yeah, Frank, you're able to pretty much determine that it's like a few miles away.
Lovely. Everyone loves to be woken up with torture in the morning.
Oh yeah, it's the only way to wake up.
Well, I'd be immediately locking the Mountaineers directional finders to the frequency. And then upon everybody waking up, be like, okay, what are we doing?
Well, knowing Sam and some of the other party members, I have a feeling that The consensus will be that we go and help this lady. I've already pinpointed, or at least sort of, this location of the signal. It's just a couple miles away.
And Carrie would be nodding her head in agreement, saying the Mountaineers already honed in on that signal.
And you can start hearing thunderclaps over the radio as well.
Let's go.
And Carrie would immediately be turning the Mountaineer in the direction of the signal.
Okay.
And I'll follow along in the robot.
All right. Yeah, as soon as you start heading that direction, very quickly you start seeing pretty much a storm right on the horizon, right in that direction. And it does not look like a normal storm.
Fun.
Yeah.
Is it one of those ley line storm opening things?
It looks like one, yeah. And it looks like a pretty strong one, too.
Cool.
Because it's got that very unnatural glow to it. So as you guys start getting closer, and about a half mile out from it, your vehicle stopped functioning.
Carrie wouldn't be surprised at the sudden lack of mobility in the vehicle. Basically expecting the, I guess, EMP. From the ley line.
In a way.
That's kind of how she'd interpret it.
Yeah.
Does Frank still function?
Yes.
I would think you'd have buffers and stuff against it.
One would hope anyway. Jesus.
Well, one would, I'm assuming that a robot would be buffered against it as well, but so how am I going to get out of this thing without destroying it? Or is there actually a manual release on the robot?
There should be a
To the
manual
door.
release on it.
Well, that's what I'm asking you. I
Yeah.
don't know. Hopefully you do.
Yeah. Yeah, there would be a manual release on those.
I would be. Is there anything functioning on the ATV? Any of the systems or anything, or are they all down?
They're all down.
But big armor, I can't use it.
Yeah, the vehicles are not functioning. The anything built into the vehicles are not working. And it looks like your weapons, they look to be functional, but it looks like they might be affected though.
Does that include my arm?
I would hope cybernetics, bionics, any type of automation in that direction would still be working.
I would hope so, or else I'm about to have a really bad day.
Because that would affect Frank.
No, it
That
looks
would
like cybernetics are
affect
fine.
the whole juice system I got going on.
Yeah, those seem to be working. Those seem to be functional at the moment.
Get out of the bot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, looks like there's only one way of getting there, and Carrie would be dismounting the vehicle.
I don't like the idea of just leaving the robot in the vehicle here, though. I'd probably ask Erin and her bodyguard to stay here with them while we go check out what's going on.
Do what?
I don't like the idea of just leaving the robot in the vehicle here while everybody leaves. So I would ask Erin and her bodyguard to stay here while we check it out.
They seem to reluctantly agree for now.
Because they'd have to leave their horses behind, also, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because their
They wouldn't be
horses
functioning.
stopped. Yeah, because their horses stopped working as well.
Yay!
But
Electrical storms.
yes. But now your guys are in pretty much the pitch black, just operating from.
I'm sorry. Are we?
Old-fashioned
Flame on,
systems.
baby! Flame on!
And as you do so, you notice that the illumination from your flames is severely diminished.
Yeah. Ooh, it's that fucking bullshit from last time.
Sort of omens. Get
Yo,
those quick, be on
yo, let
switch.
me psychic shit and pierce that veil, man. I gotta try. May I?
Yeah, go ahead.
11's not bad.
It's not bad. It's a raise. It seems like most of it though is from the leyline storm.
Mm-hmm.
So the ley line itself is actually pushing like quote unquote magical darkness.
Yeah,
Damn.
Yeah, because when storms like this happen, all kinds of fuckery goes on.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I relay that to everyone else just to make them aware.
Mm. Carrie would just start walking.
And then I psychically talk to Veronica and ask her if she can sense anything from the other side.
Just repeat that she goes back with you saying this storm is really fucking with things. It's strong.
Hmm. All right.
But you've also lost tracking on where this transmission was coming from.
Best guess, last known position. That's where
Mhm.
Carrie's headed.
Should it have? Because Frank has built-in communications to handle that one close enough. Or did even his built-in communications stop functioning?
Yeah, the storm's fucking with it.
Well, still, we had a basic sense of which way it was, so
Yeah, you got a
that's
basic
the way
sense
we're
of-
going.
Yep. So now you get to rules on
Swap
this.
scenes.
Look up the rules on this real quick. Hold on. Because we'll be using a couple of different roles.
Mm-hmm.
Considering my past with the RCSG, would you consider it more a research or a science role to know if it's just a ley line or a nexus in this area?
Repeat the roles again.
Science or research?
Research. Okay, so technically it's neither.
There's no known ley line or nexus in the nearby area?
Yeah. What it is that this area is very open to the elemental planes of earth and wind, or earth and air. So there's no actual nexus or ley lines. It's just bleed
That's
over
the
from those
weak area
planes.
of the weak area of
You
fabric of reality.
So you said there's no ley line here?
Correct. Well, that's if Frank relays that.
I do. We need to be careful.
Is it just a mystical storm or
It's the same effect as a ley line storm. Because it's still magical energies kind of boiling up, causing the same effect. Okay,
I'm going to
so
approach cautiously. I have a feeling this might have been not just a random thing. I think someone caused this.
okay, so this is going to be a thing that's called a dramatic task. As you're fighting time and trying to track something down, where you as a group have to get. This is going to sound familiar to some of you, where you have to get so many successes within so many rounds.
I think that'll sound familiar to just about everybody here but Hyde.
mm-hmm.
I mean, almost every
I love
system
it.
has a similar chase mechanic.
Yeah. So this is going to be a complex multi-person dramatic task.
Hmm.
And it's going to be the first time this group has done this. So So you got to collect, for complex, you got to collect 8 task tokens within 5 rounds. So that's going to be the goal.
Okay. Well, I'll start off by attempting to intensify my heat for light to be able to at least provide some level of ease to move through the darkness for everyone else.
Okay.
I assume psionics because it's based on power.
Yep. Okay.
That's 1.
Okay, so we got 1.
I could attempt to calibrate my communication systems to see if I can actually break through the storm a little bit more. I assume that'd be electronics.
Yep.
Would there be anything I could actually roll on in this?
There can be, because do you have anything like survival for tracking?
Do I have?
See what it has.
Well, Bari would have some. Because of psionics. They can sniff
Yeah.
out psionics
Yeah, I
and
need
that
to
kind
set
of
up other
thing.
ships there. And I need to actually. I'll have to actually convert that to a real character before next session. But yes, Abari does have survival for tracking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Frank is able to calibrate some to help hone in on the signal a little bit more that you had and able to get a little bit more clearer signal.
Was someone gonna roll survival?
Now you guys should have access to Mabari as well. Yeah, because Edward is very much set up for driving and fighting.
I know. I'm gonna start fighting the storm.
They'll parry those lightning bolts.
Carry anything?
I mean, she's got science research.
Is Mabari's survival skill ready to be rolled by chance?
You guys have access to his character sheet.
I just want to make sure you weren't changing anything else before I did it.
No, I have not changed anything yet.
Got academics. But nothing specific.
Not he's trying to help track, but he's just not able to catch much of a sense. The ley line storm's messing with things.
Since you said it was over like a couple of rounds, I assume you want everybody to try something before before we try a second thing.
Yeah,
Or
at least,
how's that?
or at least a chance. Because typically action cards are drawn, so that would be like going through rounds, the combat rounds. Do this.
I mean, yeah, if it was a ley line, but since it's not,
Alright, what do you want me to? Next thing Frank would do would be to try to use his enhanced senses, to actually use his notice, since the diminished light and all that isn't actually lowering his to try to track instead survival.
which would be better.
There, we'll do that.
I don't have survival, so yeah, mine would be under notice.
That does help keep track a bit better.
Yeah.
Do you even want me to do the thing I can do with these cards, or because it's not technically combat, right?
It's not technically combat, so the number doesn't matter.
Okay.
And Mabari already did
Yeah,
something.
Mabari did something. Did Tyrion do anything yet?
Not just Frank, Sam, and Mabari.
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think we only have 3 at this time.
I can try between the knowledge that she's gained over time and notice. I can roll those 2 and just see if anything, especially since it's not ley line.
You get one. Well, you did notice check for.
Definitely.
As you do one skill check.
Okay. That's kind of good because we can ignore the common knowledge one.
As notices, I mean, used for perception, stuff like that.
I mean, the best thing she could do is compare it to the knowledge that she has on in terms of the ley line and what could be happening and what kind of danger there might be around. spidey senses it tingling.
Use your carry tingle.
Hmm. Come on with the notice check. But Ariane could have noticed was she spotted what looks like a trail leading a direction. That looks like it'd be the general direction that you guys were heading.
Okay. So I would share that observation with the group.
Yep. And Sam, you've already gone.
Yep.
And Frank's gone.
Yep. Edward.
There's really nothing I can do. I mean, I can make an unskilled attempt.
Like I said, you got notice, which is like perception, so you can be looking for tracks, trails,
Clues.
yeah, clues. With Carrie Ann pointing out what looked like some trail. He was able to follow a little bit more, and it looks like a more recently used road.
Does that notice check actually do anything?
It's over
It hasn't
4.
already been said.
Yeah. Yeah, it does something. All right. Okay.
That dog was a quickie.
Yeah. All right.
Let's see.
Pretty much all things. Yeah. Okay.
No, I think he's lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be messing with him though.
The magic is missing with this sniffer.
Okay, so we're still at 4.
I ain't seen shit either.
Yeah. You're trying to fit it, and things are just kind of being obscured.
Alright. And I'm doing that as well. Since my vision and all that isn't obscured.
Yeah, because that's a success and a raise. That
Yeah, I was
puts you,
gonna ask, does that mean that we get 2 progress tokens?
Goes in. Oh. Right there. Yep. Get a task token for each success and raise.
So what are we up to total? 6?
6 of each.
Yep.
6 of 8.
Yep. So you're able to find more that road, and yeah, it's definitely something that's been used more recently, and it's looks like some sort of
Then
carts has been brought
yeah,
up this way.
if some things are moving here, then I assume that there's got to be some sort of life form, even if it's a low level brain activity. So I'm going to reach out and try to pinpoint them. Okay,
Okay.
that should get us one more success.
Yep. Yep. And as you guys are getting closer, yep, you're definitely feeling something. It's slippery.
Slippery.
And that's what Sam's feeling.
I swear to God, Einar, there are certain things you could throw right now, and I will be so disgusted if I'm even half right.
Slippery could be evasive.
That's not what I'm thinking. Shudder.
I'm going to continue on notice just perception, trying to any more clues, anything that can.
Okay. Well, as you're, looking around, following the road, you look up Kirian just between these thunder strikes or these lightning strikes, and you look up just in time to see the shape of this large mansion ahead of you.
Mansion. Can I ask the stupid question here?
Mm-hmm.
Is there supposed to be a house here? Or is this supposed to be like empty road and desert?
Who knows, honestly?
I was about to say, without the ability to check maps, I don't think we'd know.
And even with that ability, I don't think we would know.
He just looks at you and goes, "Back in my day, we had paper maps and we had generic ideas of where people were allowed to make houses."
Well, some of us aren't quite that old.
And these days, people just build houses wherever the hell they want.
Some of us don't even build
I
them.
mean,
They
I
just
hope you all understand. I'm legitimately just saying, did the friggin' storm bring this house into existence?
There's a distinct
It's
possibility.
possible.
there's a possibility.
Oh, no, I know it is a possibility, but I'm asking, like, how dangerous is this? Like a house that is being bombarded by the storm, in which case we approach with the intent to save, versus this house appeared because it got pulled by a rift, which means it could be any level and approach with defensive state.
I'll do you one better. What if the house is the storm?
Oh
I was
God.
about to say, My money's
Mhm.
on the fact that the house actually caused the storm is like some sort of haunted house.
We want the quietest of more.
Now we have it. Now we have an opportunity of the darkest house.
I'm gonna go with the house is at the heart of the storm.
Hmm.
That-
Okay.
You're right with that assumption.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that it's definitely it's definitely at the heart. The question is, did it cause it? Was it brought here, or was it already here and is now a victim of it?
Hmm.
So many possibilities.
All three are possible.
Am I gonna have to fight a house?
I mean,
That
it
could,
could be a
I
warehouse.
mean, with those three options, that could almost be rolled on.
Einar wouldn't make me fight a house.
I am disappointed, everyone. No one reacted to the warehouse joke. You're all terrible.
Either
Get
fight the
funnier
house
jokes.
or seduce the house.
I'm just enjoying the speculation.
Well, onward and upward, folks.
Seduce the monster house.
I start playing Riders on the Storm as I take my walk towards the house.
Definitely.
All right, so yeah, you guys make your way up, and as you guys get closer to the house, you see, as you cut through the darkness, the very unnatural darkness, the house itself, the windows are lit up from the inside. You just couldn't see it. Okay, that does not transfer over. That's neat. All right.
Okay, so the storm is keeping the house from being seen and obscuring any light on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Yeah, because you come up to it, and it's a pretty grand looking mansion.
And there's no physical barrier to it.
No. And overhead, you still got the very constant rolling thunder and lightning, the very unnatural looking lightning from the magical energies.
Into this house was born, into this world was thrown, like a dawn without a bone.
This guy over here. There we go.
Killers on the road. Wait, are we the killers on the road? God.
I mean, according to the last village,
I'd say.
Wait, are we the bad guys?
um,
Depends on the way you look at things.
with
Hmm.
someone's bad guy.
Truth like beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
I'm the bad guy. Duh.
Way too many different musical references in the last 30 seconds, but yes.
I mean,
We are number one.
Always somebody is a bad guy.
And here's a little lesson in trickery.
Someone is on your side. Someone else is not.
But
I got friends
here
on
you
the
are.
other side.
So this is
I mean, I said I was leading, so that's fine. What am I seeing here? We got like gargoyle statues of some sort sitting be at the doors, like a little one door entrance here and a two door entrance here. Is that what I'm looking at?
Yep, you got a
Are there
window.
windows?
You got some windows off to the left-hand side.
All right, so those look like Freuyers looking through the windows. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and some sort of desk. What do I see in this northern room here? If I'm looking through the window, is there anyone sitting at the table?
Nobody's sitting there.
Are we
Okay.
able to see through the windows?
Yeah.
I was gonna say my token can. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
What your
well,
token says?
honestly,
What you
I'm
see.
gonna assume.
that looks like a tavern. What the foot? Oh God, there's a lot of people in there.
yeah, I'm about to say there's people in here.
I see someone.
What the
Yeah.
hell's going on?
And what you see is they all seem to be sitting there. They seem to be entertained by something.
What is going on?
Because
Well, I can clearly see some people on the stage.
Yep. And you see the people on the stage. You see a male and a female, and the female looks very tortured and beat up and bloody.
Fun. Are we in a situation of dance partner? Entertain, like dance, like shoot at the floor kind of thing? Is that what we're looking at?
Oh god, this is an eyes wide shut party. We should get out of here.
anything down that way?
There's another door in the back, and I saw from over here that there is a hallway, like behind a curtain. So I think, but there's no one in any of these rooms in the back here. If we could bust down this door, we could head through the back here and probably sneak right onto the stage and probably rescue the girl. Also, my God, so many strings to harvest. You don't think about it, but strings are hard. When they break, you got to repair them sometimes and jam.
I would say also try in the windows and see if any of them open where there's no occupancy.
1 second.
Well, can I just put my hand up to the glass and just melt it?
You can give it a try.
Yeah, let me do it. What do you need me to roll?
It's Onyx.
Damn.
It
The
seems,
one time I can't cook.
Yeah, it seems to resist.
All right. Is this door wooden?
It looks wooden.
All right, let's do it again.
Yell flame on.
Yeah, not even flame on, just like it's wooden door, touch it, burn it.
What? You have no problems activating psionics, but it doesn't do anything.
Why don't you just try kicking down the door, running in, and asking who started the show without you?
That or the, you know, who are the people that open for the highlighters?
The opening acts.
Yeah. Say, well, the highlighters here, is the opening act just about done?
Thank you for such a wonderful introduction. Now I'll be taking over the show.
So did you say if it opens the door or not? The heat
Yeah, it doesn't react.
doesn't. That's sketchy. This is a wooden door and it won't catch on fire. This is bullshit.
It's this muted storm.
You know what? Frank will walk up and try to turn the doorknob.
I swear to God, if this door opens,
It opens.
His Frank stands back and gives you the "there you are" motion.
I just turn and put my back to him for a few seconds, arms crossed, head down, be like, "Well, fine." I kick the dirt with my foot, just like,
Like a little kid pout.
sure, do the obvious thing.
Okay, but why don't you go down the next door then?
I mean, I give him credit. I only asked about the windows being open, not the
I
doors.
do step in. Do I die?
No.
Oh God, Wilson's got the two toys that would be hysterical to see on stream.
Can I try these doors, Einar?
Yeah, give it a shot.
Kick him down. Kick him open.
What do I
I'm
see
gonna
there? Because it looks like something attached to the wall.
I'm going to step into the room and kind of be sneaky about it, or attempt to.
It
To
looks
his
like,
obvious.
yeah, it looks like a board, a pen board, pretty much.
Anything catch my eye, like the picture of the woman or the guy that was on stage?
No. It looks like a whole bunch of old playbills. That's about it.
Yes, you have a giraffe.
Where's Edward?
Yes, it goes
Would
squeak.
did Hyde have to step away and he should be with us, or is he actually staying away on purpose?
He made a comment in.
Yeah, he said he had to be.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
an hour ago.
I
Still
don't
here.
know how long ago that was.
So are you us on the side on purpose? Like you didn't follow us into the house?
Sneaky stuff not my thing.
Well, I'm not being sneaky. I'm literally going in. I'm gonna just like run in and get the girl. But
Yeah, he's being bold.
yeah,
I guess we
I'm
can
just
pull
going
the door
around the
open.
back so I don't have to necessarily, combat everything. But I'm going straight.
Yeah, I'm the one that's kind of be sneaking around, kind of to his bold moves.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'll go
Can
in
I
his
roll
direction.
some sort of stealth to peek around this corner without being seen by the other person on the stage? Because I get the curtain; it might be blocking view, but I know there was at least one person and the girl on the stage.
Mabari will follow Carrie and
Okay.
Oh, this is
stealthy
gonna be
as well.
great. I have a D4 stealth. This is yes.
Oh, that's a technical success.
All right. I just wanted to look and see what the situation is on the stage right now, essentially.
Oh.
So like peeking around the corner just to see whatever I see. I see that they're still there. I want
Yeah.
to know if they're still there, or
Yeah,
if
they're
it's
still there. They're both tied up.
they're both tied up. Okay,
Yeah, they're
so
tied.
those
Yeah,
they're
they're
both prisoners.
both tied up. Like I said, she's very bloody and beat up. It looks to be in very bad condition. He is just bruised and looks like not nearly in bad shape.
Where's Kirsty? There she is.
I'm
I
on the
look
other
at
side.
Kirsty and Mambari, and I'm like, all right. I think
There is
me
no
and Edward are
Kirsty.
gonna go full bloody death. You want to grab the two people when we cause the distraction?
That's kind of what my thought was is we were going to be your backup.
Cool. You got that sword ready?
Which one?
Uh, which sword?
I have many swords.
All of them. Because at that point, I'm gonna walk out and go full flame on territory here.
All right. And with that, go ahead and get
For you're so low.
And I assume there was nothing interesting in these rooms back here, really.
no.
So, boom.
Move combatant. Move combatant.
Did we get the drop on them in any way? Just stepping out from the curtain and going like, bah!
No, you guys made enough noise that they were moving around.
God damn it. Well, let's go.
Because this guy's turn first. Squeaky. He pulls out. He's got a shotgun,
Fun.
which may or may not do much of anything.
Considering I have some mega armor going on and my toughness is 24, I think we're okay. That would be a very high roll.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
Raise.
Boy.
Because I don't think that's a mega damage weapon.
Come on, dog boy. Come on.
Double check.
You're backing me up.
Oh. Yes, it is a mega damage weapon.
Okay, sure. I thought it had to beat my toughness.
And 4 armor piercing.
Yeah, it's got armor piercing.
So it's a 20 to 22, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
All right, you little shit.
So
That's fine.
Yeah, you step around, you flame on, just as he says, he hits you with a shotgun.
What's the point? What is the point of mega armor in this game at this point, or anything that's not mega armor? Because everything is like mega damage.
Targets within. Wait,
Which
I'm reading the notes in this. Hold on. Targets are distracted and roll. Okay. Okay. Targets who are MDC ignore becoming prone. Okay, so it has an effect of knocking you on your ass if you're hit with it at short range. But if you have MDC,
Okay.
you ignore that effect.
Oh,
Or,
okay.
or if you're large.
At least there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's at least something.
Yeah, now I'm just imagining, somebody who's not MDC turns a corner, gets hit with a shotgun, and gets blasted back.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work. So, good to go.
Okay, Frank.
Worm Wraith.
I said slippery.
Yeah. But this is almost what I was picturing, just not quite. I was expecting like slug creatures, but
Nope.
hey, a mass of giant squirming worms is even worse. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Worms, snakes. I mean,
Yeah. Instead, it's a whole bunch of worms in a trench coat.
Yummy.
Listen, I was
snails.
joking when I said it was an eyed wide shut party. This is just on. This is too on the nose.
I'm going to attempt a.
Now we get to see if anybody's paying
boost.
attention to the stuff I was saying in earlier sessions.
What, we pay attention?
I'm going to boost myself, trying to raise my shooting ability. And I'm going to use the Mega modifier for a greater boost. I don't want
A success.
it. Alright, so it goes up by one size category. And that will be the end of my turn.
Okay, now it's this guy's turn. And it squirms up onto the stage. Mind blank on that one. And aims a shotgun at Kiersey. Or Kirian. Whatever her name is this session. I don't think does anything. Nope.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's going to be somewhat hard for them to actually hurt some of us.
Well,
With
they
those
got a
shotguns,
chance.
at least. Oh, I didn't say it would be possible. I said it'd be hard to hurt some of us. With the shotguns.
They're rolling a lot of dice, so there's a lot of chances for races.
Let's see. What is
For explosions, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dirty, nasty whores. How dare they?
How can I find
Explosions
out
are my thing.
see. Book. Oh, book.
You there, Hyde?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, your turn.
I'm sorry. All right. I can't actually see anyone because I'm stuck behind this wall, right?
Yeah, you know you've heard 2 shotgun blasts.
I definitely got enough movement to fucking cover this shit, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be 1, 2.
Shields.
Definitely start seeing people now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That'd be 11 right there. I'm doing a sweep and I'm hitting the 3 surrounding me.
Okay.
So I need
Okay, so there goes that idea. Right.
3 fighting, or what did we say it was for sweep? 1
attack
fighting
roll.
attack,
Yep.
but 3 damage rolls.
Yep. Damage roll for each one.
Okay. And this is most definitely going to be with the burn die.
Where's weaponry?
I assume an 8 hits them.
Yeah, that beats your parry. So let me know which one you want to start with for damage.
We're working our way clockwise, so the one at the very top left corner, then the one directly to my right, and then the one below me.
Okay.
Go. Range 5, 10, 20.
So there's the first one. Which doesn't look like it's going to do that much.
No.
No, I should just be able to double click on them and then roll my attack, and that just targets them, right?
I gotta be applying the damage.
Okay.
There we go.
That one might do something. And then now the one at the very bottom.
Okay.
Well, I got one of them.
We got some significant armor.
Yeah, they got really decent toughness.
I'll get him as soon as my turn's done. Or do I have enough time? I got enough time. Let me get. No, not everybody. You. Go.
And there
And
goes,
there
there
we
goes
go.
everybody. Yeah, one moment. They just want to be a herd of elephants right now. Hey, that one's a crit fail. Difficulty. Crit. Hey, severe failure. Okay, so this worm wraith aims a shotgun at Kirian, and you see it backfire.
What?
Backfire. Sucks to be you, nerd.
Gonna roll a raise. Damage. And okay.
He just dies?
It backfires and he takes himself out.
He must have been one of those people that are like, hey, 50 caliber fits and 12 gauge.
If it fits, it works, right?
If it fits, send it.
Works. Oh, I could have rolled from there. Okay. Okay, Sam.
Yes.
You see a whole bunch of worms kind of come out of the stage and kind of wrap around your legs.
I'm sorry, what?
They're getting all sorts of friendly with you.
Mm-hmm. So that is the effect. Entangled.
Does that mean that the creature that grabbed me is within 5 feet of me? Essentially.
Well, the worms that are physically holding you.
Yeah, okay. I just as a reminder, anything within that range, so 1 square range of me, at the end of my turn is going to take 3d8 damage, non-negotiable.
Oh yeah.
No save.
Oh
So,
yeah.
okay. If it prevents me from moving, it's going to get hurt.
Yeah, entangled, so just means you can't move. So you're stuck where you're at. And unless you break free with an action.
What you do? What you do? What you do?
Wilson.
Wilson.
Alright. That's for this worm. Who is going to aim a shotgun at Edward. Just because he saw him leap into the middle of everybody and swing a sword around, so he's like, why not?
I mean, that makes sense. What doesn't make sense is that the guys who are dual-wielding pistols in their images are carrying shotguns, but okay. Welcome to RPG tokens.
Exactly.
We get what we get.
Unless you make them yourself.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But,
Damn.
but they bounce off Edward's armor and doesn't really do much of anything. Then this worm moves up and takes an aim at Carrie Ann.
Rude.
Well, he believes in equal opportunity shooting. Which I doubt does anything. And now it's Sam's turn.
All right, well, I have to start doing something to shake the, what is it, roll spirit? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, because that's a free action.
That's free.
Wait 1 second,
Cool.
ma'am. I can't put you down this
And
second.
what is entangled now?
It's
Can I?
Yeah, you can't move unless you break free.
Okay, and I assume that's an action to do so?
Correct.
You got ranged options.
Now, I do.
Oh, you
But
get
here's the
one.
thing. The worms are coming out of the woodwork. Are they coming out of like the spaces between the wood, or are they the wood extending?
They seem to be magically coming out of the wood. Like morphing.
Magic. So like the wood is being transformed itself.
Yes.
Okay.
May I let you down?
Okay. Let me think.
The
Here.
house is haunted.
I mean, yet to a degree. But if it is alive and we could test that, because I can target the fucking floor as my attack and just burn this motherfucker down.
I thought you
All
already
right.
tried to burn the house. It doesn't work.
Well, yeah, when I rolled really shittily. But that was just a generic to burn the door. I'm targeting the things that are grabbing my feet and everything. But that's true too. I could just, you know what? If I get a fire going on one of these dudes, I can start using fire manipulation as a free action. So you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna toss off a greater bolt, and I'm gonna target. This is the guy who shot me, right? Oh, was this one?
Yeah, that one.
All right, that one can suck mine.
Yeah, the other guy hasn't gone yet.
All right. It's enough.
Yep, it's enough.
All right. And then these auto rolls are messed up as hell. That's fine. There's the one that it's supposed to be, I think, right now. All right, with improved. Yeah, 5d6 mega damage. That's right. Okay. All right. And spending the bonus stuff. For burst or enhanced damage. For some reason, only showing 46, which is weird. That's annoying that it's not built in there. It's supposed to go up +2.
Which one?
Because Flame Bolt, the base ability, doesn't reflect all of the upgrades that you can add on, like Blaster and everything. It has issues. That's all. I'm just making sure oh, it's Flame Bolt Blast. Yeah, see, Flame Bolt Blaster is 3d8. It's not showing correct, but it's supposed to be 5d6. But there is a we'll do that 5d6, and it should add a +2 to the damage. But I don't think it's going to. Yeah, just 12. So it should be 14.
So it's supposed to be 14, you said?
Yeah.
All right.
And just double checking to see if my aura changes anything. Because I know it gives some extra bonuses and stuff to my melee. I want to see if they apply to.
Have to go in and
Okay.
get some powers or
Uh,
maybe do something with that later.
No, that's only melee, but it does trigger everything burns because I got a raise on damage,
Okay.
right? Which means the target catches fire and takes an additional 3d6 damage until they take an action to douse as per the fire in the Savage Worlds book. Ongoing.
Okay.
Yeah. So do I need to roll 3d6 somehow?
Yeah, just flash our 3d6.
Cool.
All right. Let me go ahead and. And now he's a flaming pile of worms.
Cool. And because I have, where is it? Where is it? Is it walking with fire? No. Firewalker. It's been a while since I've gotten to actually use this, so it's has to do with Fire mastery. Elemental. I can use elemental manipulation for no ISP. As an action, I may activate Elemental Fury and Exalted Manipulation modifier, causing no ISP. And that essentially allows me to lash out once per round. I may make a test against any targets within range using my skill with no multi-action penalty. So I may roll an additional 3d4 fire damage as I pull the fire from that body and whip it at someone else in range.
Okay.
So I guess this guy's the next closest. So we're gonna try to throw it on him. And we'll do psionics again. 11.
That's the psionics with a raise.
So that's an additional 3d. 3d what? Powers. Fire manipulation. Here we are. Is that a raise or no?
The psionics? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's 3d4.
Yeah, 4 to pass, 8, and every 4 above that.
Cool. So that just throws an extra 8 damage at that dude. Of fire damage. Mega fire damage. It's not much. Might not do anything, but it's worth throwing it.
Yeah, it doesn't really do much to him, but it singes him.
However, also activating my last ability because that's just a passive now. God, I love my stupid shit when it actually is working and I'm actually close and not everyone is already dead. Because I got to activate Elemental Fury as well, everyone within range except the caster, so the range is 3 times my psionics, I guess is what it is. Of the target that I moved the fire to, so this guy. Where is it? Elemental Fury. For the power's duration, which is just ongoing, because I'm controlling it, they suffer a -1 penalty on all trait rolls or 2 with a raise. And it was raised when I did it, so -2.
Okay.
Haha. I finally got to pop off a little bit. And not have dead characters where I can actually throw my fire around and it matters. So I may not have hurt you, but the fire is flipping around you, and you have a -2. Suck
There
it.
you go. Put that on him then. All right. Okay, so you got everything then?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That now I'm done.
Right.
Like, because I didn't call out extra actions, but my manipulate fire gives me the extra action to manipulate without taking the penalty. So I can't move. I can't do any of that because of the entangled, and I didn't try to break free as an extra action. So if at the end of the turn, technically there is something that can take damage within the range within my 1 square range, then they take 3d8 damage of mega damage. Do you want me to roll that? Is that impertinent, or is it just a spell that's holding me?
go ahead and roll it. You never
All right.
know.
All right.
Okay.
So in a in a circle around me, everything burns. Boom. That poor piano is definitely catching fire. I don't think it has resistance to mega damage.
Yeah. Yeah, the poor piano. Or like poor Frank.
Fire something, it doesn't matter.
Are you okay, Frank? I think we lost him.
Yeah, I think we did too. He just ate, so it's set.
Yeah, I think he put himself in food coma.
Mm.
I mean, we're almost done anyway.
Yeah.
Although,
hopefully he wakes up.
isn't
in
it
time for
Frank
work.
who has to? I was gonna say, isn't it him who has to go to work?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Oh, someone's mowing. That's what's upsetting him. I gotta bring him in, but he doesn't want to come in yet.
Okay.
Okay, dog boy.
come on,
Okay.
we rescued your ass. Make it count.
Oh, he's gonna make it count. He's gonna jump, run and jump into the mess here.
Thought I was controlling it. Okay.
And he is going to use his vibro blade man braces. He's going to attack this one first and then swing at that one. Kind of a 1-2 punch.
Poor Frank.
1-2 punch. Smack, smack.
So roll twice or one at a time.
It's 2 separate attacks.
So that'd be for the first one.
Okay. So that's
And
the left or the up?
this guy was first.
Okay.
That guy was next.
Okay, the first one connects, second one does not.
Okay, so 1 set of damage.
Really getting to it.
Yep. If I get that dog in. As soon as Kiri moves, I'm gonna get him in if I can. Okay, so that's his turn. And he's just gonna sit defensive, waiting for that guy to react. To whom she's gonna take aim at, since her original idea fell through. So hold on. Yes, he did. Okay. So
Hit and raise.
So damage with a raise. Is it damage with a raise or just damage?
Damage with a raise.
Okay. But just double checking.
And that's takes out that worm race.
Okay. Next person, and I gotta get a dog.
Yep. Hey, welcome back.
Oh. Did
Yeah, we lost you there for a little bit.
I fall asleep?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, food coma got you. So Wormwood, that's just south of Edward, is going to try to hit him with shotgun. Technical hit. No raise. Yeah, that's not going to do any damage.
God, Edward is a beast.
Yeah. And the last Wormwood, that's up here. It's going to slither on the stage and try to hit Sam.
You bastard.
I see the chance that, maybe he's not going to go anywhere.
Oh, did he manage to shoot himself as well?
No. Yep. Because he just, that one backfires and splatters him against the back wall.
Remind me not to buy from their weapon supplier.
Yeah, what are these Savage Arms?
They're the future high points.
Does High Point make shotguns?
I don't know. High points actually keep functioning, so.
Probably do.
Okay, Sam.
All right, am I still grabbed?
Yep.
You bitch.
Oh, we're down to two wormers. Worm cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the one I already started my fire on. Let's just roll it. Let's see, because I can continue to smack him with that fire. You know what? No, because Ed's got to move, and that way he doesn't have to move. He can just stab this dude. So I'm gonna go for this guy. I feel that. You know what I mean? We go boom.
This might be over before I even see what's going on.
We go boom. That's explosions and raises.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that whole shebang again. We're gonna do 5d6 plus 2. I wish you could like add what? I don't know. Whatever. Wait, can I add a modifier? Can I just go plus 2? Add? Cool. That might work. Boom. Okay.
Yeah.
That was better than last time, so that should knock this bitch out.
Any, since you got breezes and stuff like that, any additional fire?
Yeah, they're gonna take an additional 3d6. And that's gonna be ongoing if they are alive.
Most likely not.
Yeah, most likely not. Yeah, you gone. And then I'll pull my fire manipulation. Within 1, 2, 3, yeah, more than enough. I'm gonna throw the fire this way. We'll do another psionics. Targeting this guy. And that's with a raise, so I get to do 3d4. 8 damage at this guy. And it sets the fire on him with a -2 penalty to any of his rolls. Cool. Bye, sucker. You're about to get stabbed. You can burn first. And then, oh, you want me to roll this for the thing under the stage? Just in case. 14.
Yeah, that poor piano's gone.
Well, like I said, hopefully it's
But the
acquired
stage
something.
isn't catching fire, and neither is the worms, which is interesting. Okay.
I'd feel bad if it was a Yamaha.
Now it looks like one of those really nice grand pianos, which is even worse.
Yeah, it was a really nice. It was a really nice piano. It was.
Well, Yamaha makes really nice grand pianos.
Now it's a little ashy.
Ugh. Somebody's knocking. Should I let him in? Hope anybody recognizes that song.
To get back before asking a question. Okay, because I heard the comment during the last round. So who's controlling the dog boy?
I can control. I was moving on this. Okay, so that's why.
Yeah, like, is he my companion or is he just a group thing? Because I actually don't care. I just want to know who actually is controlling him. Because I've done stuff for him. Aisha's done stuff for him.
Well, you said we.
Or do
all
you
have
want to just take control of
control
what he
those
does,
dogs.
Einar?
Excuse me. Because he belongs to the group, so it just it all depends upon y'all. The biggest thing was just making sure that there was an understanding between the players.
I don't care.
If no one else is going to speak up, I'll take control of him. I don't promise much roleplay from him, but
I mean, the roleplay aspect of things, yeah, that'd be me. But the actual, moving around,
combat,
yeah.
just to offload because you're controlling NPCs and stuff too.
Or you guys can take turns as well, so.
Yeah, it don't matter. We can figure things out.
Okay. Either way, it's. Yeah.
Dog boy's turn.
Yeah. Didn't have a pop. Okay. There is one Wormwood left. And Dog Boy's turn.
He'll move right there. Let's see.
Then that mysterious hidden combatant.
He's just gonna bite him.
That is not enough to meet the parry.
Okay. I don't think he can do much more.
Not on a single turn. Not without calling for multiple actions.
Yeah.
And I'll flesh out the character more between sessions. But anyways, Edward's turn.
I'm gonna swing at him.
That is enough to meet the parry.
Oh, I didn't even roll my burn die on that one. Oops.
And resolve damage. And it is now a pile of worm guts. Anything else from Edward this turn? You guys hear a whole bunch of cackling.
Wild.
That seems to fill the entire ballroom. And
Of course it does.
yeah, of course. And thank you for entertaining me so much this evening. I will see you again so very soon. And the entire room goes dark for a brief moment. And then the lights return to normal. And the storm seems to disappear. And you hear the thunder go away.
And the
And
worms.
we're just legitimately dumped in the middle of nowhere.
And we find out more next session.
Fun. Okay.
But yeah, I enjoyed the speculation about the house.
I mean, yeah.
But thank you all very
Yeah,
much.
if nothing else, if you already have something in plan for it, this it was a house, it's like, I could use one of those ideas.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, that was fantastic. But I hope you all enjoyed it.
Apparently, it put me to sleep. I'm sorry.
At least it wasn't my story that put you to sleep. It's fine.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. Yeah, it could have been the story. But yeah, we'll pick up again in 2 weeks.
Awesome.
Let's find out
Alrighty.
who that is on stage.
Bum bum bum.
It's Sam on stage.
I mean, I'm used to it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think Sam's going to be playing the piano this time.
No. I mean, I prefer the guitar, but other instruments are fine.
Yeah.
He can still play on the piano.
I mean, it was Jerry Lee Lewis who set the piano on fire, not him.
I'm more Jack Black in that manner than than
And
Billy
It's
Joel, but I can still make it work.
He was aspiring to be Jerry Lee Lewis.
I'm sorry, I could not help with that. I really actually do want to see the Minecraft movie. That shit is going to be a disaster.
and actually got Jack Black in there as Steve.
Yeah.
yeah, and you'll have to either unmute or speak up, hon.
Sorry, I couldn't tell. I've muted and unmuted 1,000 times with the dogs. No, I said it was Jerry Lee Lewis who set the piano on fire, not Sam.
Oh God.
But yeah, we'll see everybody next time. I think next time should be Pathfinder with Fleisha on next
Should
Sunday.
be next Sunday. Yep.
And then next Riffs is in 2 weeks. And then we should have
A
Pathfinder.
Starfinder.
Yeah.
Should have Starfinder before it.
Yeah.
If not, all the characters are worked to death like this past week.
Yeah. Yeah. We skipped the Starfinder this last time because we were all dead.
Do we have an advancer now?
Yes. Yeah. It will be in advance.
Nice.
Yeah. Unfortunately, all the characters and the DM were all to the point where none of us had the spoons to continue a game that night.
I did, but I wasn't going to push it because you all were not feeling well.
So advance for today. Updated the log. So +9 total.
Yeah, mark in advance. I
Cool.
don't forget.
Yeah, I just put it as planned for now, so I know I got to think about it, but
That's what I usually do.
It's either gonna be skills or I'm gonna learn to fly. I don't know which, but flying is pretty up there.
I'm probably going to do skills again.
Yeah, and I got a dog boy to work on.
Nice.
You want me to take care of some of it?
No, I'll work on it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's no
'Cause
problem.
I was probably just going to make him just like Edward, more combat focused and really nothing,
No, I'll get him set up, and then afterwards it'll be your guys' problem.
Brings
I'm
up
probably going to raise my hacking and repair skill again.
So this will be the 13th raise.
Oh yeah, since you're
Yeah.
a Mars package.
Yep.
But all right, appreciate everybody. Thank y'all very much, and we'll see you next time.
Yep. Take care,
Same bat
folks.
time, same bat channel.
Yep. Granted, last time I said that, Doc almost missed it.
Oh, see, he was just being batty.
But
All right.
Now I want to watch Fern Gully.
About to say he was flying into too many trees.
my name is Batty. My actions are erratic.
All right.
It's in the attic.